What's good, gang? All right, y'all, so quick disclaimer. When we get to the part of the video where we look at the size tag and I read the style code off to y'all, I absolutely butcher, and I mean butcher, the style code. I'm talking, I don't say it right at all, whatsoever. So really, I just wanted to let y'all know I'm not an idiot, but I don't know what was going on that day. So let me give y'all the right style code. The correct style code in question is M2002 RTJ. Thank you. What is good, family? We are back today. That is right, with another unboxing video, as I'm sure you saw in the beginning. Today we are taking a look at New Balances. New Balance has been killing the game for a little bit now, and it's just absolutely crazy to me because if you're in the same age bracket that I was when we were in high school, let's just say I graduated in 2016. When we were in high school, you would not have been caught dead at school with some New Balances on. You would have been clowned. You would have been roasted all day. You would have not made it out of that building that day. But crazy how things change, because New Balance is one of the more popular shoes on the market right now. I feel like, especially when I was working at JD, straight up, we would sell just as many New Balances as we would Nike. So without further ado, let's get into this video today. Ladies and germs, here we are. We've got the New Balance box. You already know. Let's flip it over. Take a look and see what we got going on here. So this is a pair of 2002 Rs, probably one of my favorite models of New Balances out right now, as far as the look and the comfort and the materials used on some of the pairs. Style code on these is M200 RTG. These are a size 11.5. If you are not familiar with sizing on New Balances or how these feel, I definitely would recommend checking out that half size smaller than what you normally wear, especially on the 2002s. At least me personally, I do believe that the 2002s run a little bit big. I didn't quite like the way that the 12s fit in those, which is what I normally wear. Felt like it had a little bit too much room for me in there. 11.5 works out. I would recommend the same thing to anybody who came and bought a pair of 2002s off of me while I was working at JD, and they said that I was right every time. Not to say that I'm the know-all be-all, but personal preference, I would recommend going down a half size on the 2002s. Also in the 1906s. I'm not 100% sure on the 740s, the 530s, 9060s, or any other models, but today we're talking about the 2002s, brown and black. Let's take a look. Boom, here we are. So I'm gonna just start off by saying I have worn these ones a handful of times because I actually do like them. Granted, there are some colorways of the 2002s that I like more than these ones, but I did catch these ones on a steal. These ones were on sale at JD when I was working there for $75, I think it was, but I ended up walking out of the store only $56 for these bad boys. And a lot of these things, these ones go for, like, depending on the pair that these are, these normally start out retail like $145. So 56 compared to 145, I think that was a steal. Obviously, yes, I did get an employee discount working there at JD, which is one of the main reasons why I wanted to work there in the first place. So let's take a closer look at these bad boys. We'll pull this one out of the box here. Take a look at some of the materials on here. It's another reason why I've been digging New Balances recently. As far as look and comfort, and what's nice with the 2002s is you can kind of pull up on some chill vibes with these. You can dress these up a little bit. Maybe not this pair in particular, but a few of the models that I have seen. Like that, I've wore these a handful of times, and look, the soles still look crisp, like they've never been worn. Good looking shoe. All right, so let's get a closer up on some of these details here. So we do have the mesh on the toe box and on the side profiles of the shoes. But as you can see, we do have that switch in material from the leather to the suede, kind of on some of the accents here as well. You can see, I'm sure you could tell the difference of the material there. And right below the N, we've got the suede and nubuck, and then that leather there. That's one of the main reasons why I like the 2002s as much as I do. Now with this colorway being predominantly brown and black, it is a little bit harder to tell the difference in the break-in material in these, which is why I say there's a bunch of other colorways that I like more than these ones. These ones were really just a price point grab. Still a super clean and reputable shoe though. So let me get this other one out here and we'll take another look. So here those are again, those New Balance 2002 Rs in black and brown. And as I'm sure you can see, we do have some reflectiveness here on the toe caps and on the back tabs on the heels. And here goes my receipt from JD. I was wrong on the price. So these actually were on sale for 100 and I only paid 70 for them. Total out the door was 74.55. That must be a different pair that I was thinking of. But anyways, 70 bucks for a pair of New Balances. I'm definitely taking that opportunity, especially with how popular these have been recently. I will admit this is my first pair of New Balances because just like I said in the beginning of the video, if you were in the same age bracket as me, you wouldn't have wore these. There's no way you would have wore some New Balances if you were the same age bracket as me. But of course, times change, so do people's taste. And honestly, the amount of people that have been coming in to JD and grabbing New Balances made me want to check a pair out. So when these ones went on sale, I grabbed them. Kind of get some more highlights of the change of materials there. You got the two different colors on the midsoles, and these back here, some pretty cool technology on the shoe here, and I'll get into that in just a moment. Really just trying to get another close-up here of some of these different materials on there because I think it's super cool. I really love, I really love the change of materials on the shoes lately. New Balance has been killing it with materials on their shoes. Asics on certain pairs, like the last video that we did on the Asics, I think the Gel NYCs, those have some different materials in the shoe, which I love. I personally think that they are bridging the gap that Yeezy unfortunately left. So let's just get another close up on those bad boys, especially with the flash on now. Got the New Balance on the back tabs. You know what's crazy? When I was young, and I mean like super young, I used to think that these were Nikes. And I would always like tell my mom and whatnot, I don't want the weird Nikes. I don't want the weird Nikes. And she'd be like, what do you mean the weird Nikes? And I'm like, the ones that have the N on them instead of the swoosh. Super dope shoe though, pretty comfortable. All right, let's take another look. All right, gang, and here we are back again. Those New Balance 2002s. As far as style and comfort, New Balance is another company that seems to have that in the bag right now. I will say, as far as, actually, you know what? No, we're talking about the 2002s right now. The 2002s are probably my favorite model of New Balances out right now, especially since we're talking about style and comfort. I believe that the 2002s hit both of those on the nose pretty perfectly. I just noticed the imperfection that I gotta clean off. We'll get to that later. But the 2002s, I feel like hit perfectly right on the nose for style and comfort. Like I said, you can pull up on some chill vibes with these. You can dress these ones up a little bit. Super dope shoe. So this technology on the back of the shoe here, on the on the heel, like I was talking about earlier, that's pretty much what absorbs the impact of your step. So basically, in a sense, the shock on the Nike Shocks. Super cool though. I know it's weird and you may not have an opportunity to always watch yourself walk or watch your feet as you walk, but being that I did work at JD, we had the mirrors along the bottoms of our displays so you could see what the shoes looked like on foot. And I would all the time, every time I would wear these to work, I would always watch myself walk past in the mirrors, because as you take your step, you can see these, I wouldn't even know what to call these. You can see these little pockets, these units here, these black little pockets. As you take your step, you see them start to compress. And I don't know, I just think it's super cool that you can actually see the technology of the shoe in use. So that's just a little fun fact, something that I noticed that I liked about the shoes. A lot of things going on with New Balance that remind me of Yeezy, and I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it whatsoever. As you guys probably know, the Yeezy shoes were known for their quality, material, and detail, which New Balance has picked up very nicely, I feel like. Like I said, this is one of the more mild pairs of 2002s. Price point grab on these ones for sure. I definitely would recommend checking out their website, or even go to your local shops and just see what New Balances they have there, because there are some really sweet ones out there, especially on the website. There's some really crazy ones. But as far as quality, detail, and material, the New Balances really remind me of the Yeezys. Like, take the 500 for example. There's all kinds of different materials going on with the 500s. Same as the New Balances. And Yeezy, Ye even said himself that they were more of a dad shoe. If you're in the same age bracket as me, these fuckers were old man shoes back in the day. Your freaking grandpa would mow the lawn in these. Ain't no way you would step out in some New Balances. So they've got that going on in similarity with the Yeezys. And the other thing that I find extremely similar with the Yeezys is the fact that almost all of the New Balance models, if not all of them actually, their names are numbers. Like, for example, with Yeezy, you have the Yeezy 350s and the Yeezy 380s and the Yeezy 450s and the Yeezy 500s. Like, for example, New Balance, they've got the New Balance 9060s, the New Balance 1906s, the New Balance 2002s. So that is the reason that I say I feel like New Balance is almost bridging that gap that unfortunately Yeezy left when they parted ties with Adidas and so forth. We already all know that story. New Balance, super comfortable. The only thing that I will say about these, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm gonna always give you guys my honest opinions about the sneakers that we take a look at on these videos. I personally do like my Asics a little bit better than the 2002s. And the only reason being is because I am a little more flat-footed, and after so long of walking around in these, they are a very comfortable shoe. Don't get me wrong. I will not take that from them whatsoever. These are a very comfortable shoe, but these do have a little bit of arch in them. The 2002s do. So if you are flat-footed like myself, after walking around all day in these, you're gonna feel that arch a little bit. It's nothing to the point where you feel like you need to take the shoes off, or you're so uncomfortable that you can't wear them. But you feel it a little bit. You feel it. So that's the only reason I say that I like the comfortability of my Asics a little bit more. Other than that, these are still a solid shoe. I mean, some of them, especially if you can catch them on sale, fairly inexpensive for a quality shoe. I definitely would recommend you guys checking them out. Really just wanted to get a closer look at these bad boys, because we're not partial to shoes here. We're not only going to do Jordans. We're not only going to do Yeezys. We're going to any shoe. Like I said in the previous video, I'm the sneakerhead that just buys what he likes. So whatever we grab, we're going to take a closer look, hopefully before you guys make a decision on making any purchases on anything that we take a look here. So once again, guys, this was the New Balance 2002s. I hope you found some of the information here a little bit helpful. And with that being said, thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for watching. I've been seeing the views pop off. So thank you guys for that. We've got more stuff on the way. Fashion related, music related, gaming related, sports related. So stay tuned. And most importantly, guys, stay safe. Hey, dudes and babes, one more thing before I go here. If you didn't know already, we are on Instagram too. So you can always check us out on Instagram. If you just need more, you need to see more, you're ready for more, and you can't wait for that next video to drop, you can follow me personally on Instagram at LetItFlySly, and you can follow our page on Instagram at the DITD888. We've got more on the way. Thank you guys for sticking around thus far. Stay safe, fam.